All right, let's check that mic again. 1, 2, 1, 2. Am I good? No sound? So I got sound over here for YouTube. All right, now, there we go. See, that's why I do my sound checks. That's why I do my sound checks, because you never know with this mess. Okay, so my sound's back. And like I was saying, if this is your first time joining the show, hit the like button, share my videos. Feel free to have a good time because like I said, we're not here to stifle your fun. Enjoy yourself, okay? Leave messages. I love reading them afterwards. Just have a good time. Now, this number on the screen, 330-974-4607. If you type text MAGA to that number, then I will make sure that you are in the loop just in case they give me the boot. See, if I get the boot, I want you in the loop. So if you do that, then I'll stay connected with you if something crazy comes up. And let me think what else. Oh, the little fundraiser, guys. We're down to about 4 days, I think 4 or 5 days. You guys have been great, but it'll be great if I can get a last minute surge. You know what I mean? I'm still looking for that Hail Mary. Still looking for the buzzer beater. Boom. So if you want to support the channel in that way, you can do that through the links down below. And before we get into this, I got to get loose first before I get busy on these demo rats and all this craziness going on around the country. So let's get busy, y'all. Yeah. Like Silverback. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. There's some kings in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Yeah, man. So before we do that, now don't forget, y'all, the store is open. Feel free to, take a little peruse through the store. We got Bob t-shirts. If your breath smells, I'll buy you a shirt. Now, with that being said, let's get into the first topic off grip, and that is Crooked Joe. And I'm going to make up a word. Crookeder FBI. Y'all, this is bad. And they wonder why that whole Project 2025 is in effect. I think that the people who really are afraid of Project 25 are the powers that be. I think it might be the deep state, because it might just dismantle all of them, which they need to be dismantled. So let's go ahead and check this out. Can you see me? I can see you. Okay, that's the cat. Most crooked. Yeah, I know. I got ghetto. I went straight Ebonics. Crookeder. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and see what the FBI has been up to along with Crooked Joe.
I want to ask you about this because we're all wondering if Joe Biden is compromised.
Yeah.
After all the money the Oversight Committee has told us he has taken in. You sit on the House Oversight Committee. Senator Chuck Grassley says that he has obtained evidence that shows the FBI received criminal information from more than 40 confidential sources on the Biden family.
No, wait a minute, y'all. If I receive 40 confidential sources on something Kev from Kevin's Corner did, do you know how quick they would be busting through my windows right now? In the midst of talking to y'all, I'd be like, all right, so let's get busy, y'all. I rock the planet. Immediately. Y'all would see me get drugged to the ground in my own house. So you got all those people dropping all that information about Creepy Joe, but nothing happened to him? It gotta be a reason. See, there has to be a purpose that they didn't come down on him like a sledgehammer. See, so maybe we can get to the reason.
And influence peddling, potential bribery, and did nothing about it.
Joe Biden is compromised. He's compromised by his family business. The FBI completely compromised as well.
Oh, that's why. There it is. That's why. The FBI is compromised as well. Yeah, across the board. They've been in shenanigans for a long time, on and off. Under J. Edgar Hoover, then it seemed like they maybe got it together a little bit, but then all of a sudden, maybe they just, laid low for a while, or, maybe they just was able to keep the corruption hidden enough and the propaganda working enough so we didn't pay attention to it. But when Trump came along, he hit that bumblebee hive, and then all of a sudden the corruption just came out. Came out. Now we see just how corrupt they are. But it's not just them. It's all those three little letter agencies, and it's also some other agencies as well. So with that being said, what do you mean, sir, when you say the FBI is corrupt? And what's the solution?
Irretrievably broken. There has to be a complete top to bottom shakeup and restructuring in the FBI.
There you go. There you go. Yep, from the rooter to the tutor. You need to get in that bad boy and go to work. And yet they're out there trying to push this narrative that Trump is targeting all of his enemies, and he's going to destroy our democracy and take over, and he's going to set himself up as the forever president/king. Yeah, I think what he's really planning on doing is correcting what he did not correct the first time because he wasn't aware of how swampy the swamp is. It's swampier than he expected. It's swampier than we all expected. See, it's so bad that we can blatantly, openly see all of the stuff floating in the swamp right now. We're sitting there going, okay, I see all the soot, all the worms, maggots, all of the moss, everything in the swamp is just floating out there. They're not even trying to hide it under it anymore. And so I get it. I'm all about, Trump, get in there and clean house. Clean house. Because if Trump somehow does not win, these people will make sure we never have even a shot at a free and fair election going forward. Not even a shot. So what they've been doing, it appears, is every president somehow they appear to be gathering all kind of dirt on them. Now, why would they want to do that? See, because they understand the basic problem with politicians. They're politicians. They don't want to work, most of them. Most of them get in office and become rich. So there's methods and there's systems that's set up to allow them to line their pockets to get rich. And the FBI appears to be keeping tabs on all of that for a rainy day. Yeah, they done created a system that keeps all of the politicians in check, especially the president. So they know that it's real hard to turn down that temptation. You know, if that crack pipe start walking past Hunter Biden, his nose gonna be bobbing the whole way like, Hunter, you focus? Huh? What? Where are we going again? Hunter, back over here. Same thing with Joe. You put some chocolate chip. I'm sorry. If you put some money in front of Joe's face, same thing. Or some hair. One of the two. He's gonna be doing this. You put a couple young tenderonis in front of Bill Clinton, you know it's all over, man. He loves tenderonis. See, they know this stuff. So now what ends up happening is we'll make you president, or we'll allow you to be president, whether you're Republican or Democrat, but we need some dirt on you. See, we're not going to throw you under the bus unless you make us throw you under the bus. Okay. Now you play nice once you get in there. All right. So I think that's kind of the strategy that the FBI and maybe some of these other powerful agencies have been using, because there's no other explanation why they wouldn't have dropped the hammer on Creepy Sleepy. And yet they tried their best to find some dirt on Trump and couldn't. And therein lies the problem. They went in his taxes. Now, you know, with the Russia collusion probe, if they didn't find nothing with that, I mean, they went all through his stuff and they just made up stuff. The FBI went along with stuff. The FBI knew that a lot of these accusations were bogus, but they didn't care. They didn't even ask no questions. That's how I knew it was bootleg right off rip. You telling me the FBI, with all of its listening skills, all of its secret agents and stuff, all of its whistleblowers, you telling me that when they came to the FBI initially with the Russia collusion, delusion, that hoax, you telling me they didn't question that? You telling me right off, they would have known. If they weren't in on it, they would have been like, this is bullcrap. We hear everything. Okay. We got our hands in almost everything. We would know if he was colluding with the Russians. And I also knew that Trump wasn't colluding with the Russians. It was just a springboard to try to probe into his life to see if they could find something else. But I also knew he wasn't colluding with the Russians because how long the investigation took. The Mueller report. I'm sitting like, so 2.5 years, y'all are investigating what you all are trying to pretend is a Russian agent running the country. If y'all had some on him, y'all would have dropped that mess day one and got him up out of there. But nope, tolerated him for 2.5 years, only to come up with nothing, except for Hillary Clinton paid for it. Well, Jesse, what do you think about this?
Not only was Biden blackmailing other countries and other countries blackmailing him, but the FBI was blackmailing Biden. The Federal Bureau of Investigation has had 40 informants inside the Biden family for the last 15 years.
Now, did y'all hear any of this on the fake news yesterday or today? No? Didn't hear nothing about it, huh? That's pretty interesting. So what I did hear is President Trump is in court today again, fighting with President Trump. Seemed to have Ivanka Trump is coming in for. That's what I heard. I heard a lot of that, but I didn't hear nothing about these 40 agents that have been saying Joe and his family is corrupt. I didn't hear nothing about all of these mysterious. Well, I think it was like 80-something thousand emails under Joe's alias name that he was chit-chatting with on government time. I didn't hear nothing about that. But if that was Trump, one whistleblower. They would bury him if they had one legitimate whistleblower. And Joe got 40 of them. He got 40 of them. Interesting. If Trump had an anonymous email that he only sent one email out just to check it and make sure it was working. Test. Just a test. He can't have this email. That man needs to go to prison forever. That man right there is compromised. They would jump all over him like a spider monkey. But Joe, 80-something thousand of them, copying Hunter. Hunter, I got a call with the Ukrainian president today so you can get your $80,000 a month for doing nothing. Stuff like that, probably. But anyway, Jesse, let's continue.
40 FBI informants have been feeding the Bureau exactly what Joe Biden, James Biden, and Hunter Biden have been doing all over the world.
Maybe they didn't believe him.
Well, it tells me that the FBI knows all of the president's dirty laundry and is blackmailing him.
There it is. That's the only solution that I could come up with. That Jesse could come. That's the logical conclusion. Because they had the laptop. They knew about the phone calls with Zelensky. They knew about all of that. They knew that Joe Biden was compromised. They know he's probably compromised with China. I bet you they got all kind of dirt on this dude. And see, once again, they find out people's weakness and temptation. That's the danger of becoming a traditional politician. And that's why Trump blew their doors away, because he wasn't one. He came in there like, I don't owe y'all no favors. I've walked amongst you, but I'm not one of you. I had to play by y'all rules as a businessman, but I never was in your crowd. Yeah, I never had to say, hey, can y'all help me out? I'm trying to win this election. If you scratch my back, I'm gonna scratch yours later. He didn't have to do that stuff. See, and they're going, man, he broke all the rules. This man is an anomaly to us. All right, do we have any dirt on him? No. What about the P tape? The P tape false? Well, just go with it. Maybe they'll believe it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's what they went with. They went with all that stupid stuff. And once he realized they was trying to get him, all them ways to start getting blocked. He's like, they trying to get me in all these different ways. I'm starting to find out that this agency is in cahoots with some other people, like Crooked. So here we go, y'all. Because right about now, somebody's about to call out not only some of these crooked, corrupt agencies and stuff like that, but also these corrupt, stinking, nasty, funky Republicans that for some reason all decided to run against Donald Trump. Now, whether you like Ramaswamy or not, he put on a masterclass. He hit a last-minute buzzer beater. I guess that's the last debate last night. But everybody started flooding me with these clips. They're flooding me with these clips. And I'm like, wait, what happened? What had happened? What had happened? And I start clicking on them, and I went to the Benny show, and he has some clips that I said, oh my. If you got kids, put them to bed, because this is about to get real physical. And I'm glad he dropped this type of message on the funky, nasty, stinking Republican rhinos / you-know-who's. So let's see what Homer Simpson here has to say. Yeah, that's the black Homer Simpson.
Let me turn to you. Please make your case. Why would you Why should you be the nominee and not the former president?
I think there's something deeper going on in the Republican Party here, and I am upset about what happened last night. We've become a party of losers at the end of the day. It's a cancer to the Republican establishment. Let's speak the truth. I mean, since Ronna McDaniel took over as chairwoman of the RNC in 2017,
he's name dropping. He ain't coming out tiptoeing around them tulips. He ain't going round and round that mulberry, but she's going straight through it. He's stumping on all the tulips. That's what he's doing. He's mashing them with both feet. That's what he's doing. He ain't trying to dodge them. So now he's calling her butt out. What do you mean we're losing elections? Dr. Twirly had a good assessment of this. He said it's because you got those old dinosaur Republicans thinking that the people are loyal to them. Really, it's a whole change in the mindset of Republican voters. They're more connected with Trump and Trumpism, or MAGAism, if you want to call it that, than they are Republicanism. See, and they're trying to go ahead and bring in politicians that fit the old mode. And folks don't want that. I don't want another rhino. I don't want no old traditional war hawk Republican. I want a Republican that will mind their own business, which is our business. That's what I want. I don't want you snooping around in Ukraine. I don't want you snooping around in any other place but the U.S. Mind your own business. And that starts with getting that border together. It starts with getting rid of these agencies that are corrupt. It starts with things like that. And it starts also with understanding the heart of the people. Understanding how to play this game, man. You got to evolve. You can't be out there trying to build a squad the old way. Okay, you can't be out there still running old plays back from the 70s. All right, we're going with stack eye. We're going with straight smash mouth football. And yet you got a pro offense out there running, throwing passes, all that stuff. And you out there, all right, we're going to run it up the middle every single play. No, you got to adapt with the times, man. And so what he's saying is, yeah, we're losing because you guys don't understand that we don't want your type anymore. We don't want that. Yeah. So here we go. He's about to finish laying into her, and then he's going to go ahead and say, you know what? Who else is out there that I can? You want some of this too? I love it.
Lost 2018, 2020, 2022, no red wave that never came. We got trounced last night in 2023. And I think that we have to have accountability in our party. For that matter, Ron, if you want to come on stage tonight, you want to look the GOP voters in the eye and tell them you resign, I will yield my time to you.
Oh, somebody's hot up under the collar, calling them out. See, now I look at everything through just natural, I guess, realistic, practical things like businesses or say even football. You know, I like to use my sports analogies. If your head coach has been losing year after year, stinking it up, at some point you're going, hey, I need to cut you. I'm going to have to let you go, man. I brought you in to win. Yeah, I want us a championship. We can't even make the playoffs. We're not even 500. You've been in the position for 5 years. We're going backwards. We don't want that. Get them out of here. If I bring in a new CEO to boost our sales or whatever, and all of a sudden we lost, $6 million last year, well, what did I bring you in for? Get them out of here. Why does everything else work that way except for politics? It's amazing. And that's why they hate Trump. He came in and ran the government like a business. He's sitting there like, what do you mean it takes forever to do that? What do you mean we can't do, why can't we do that? Questions that I've always had. Things like, what do you mean we can't shut down our border? It's our border. What do you mean we can't tell these people that they can't come here for asylum? We control the country. Stuff like that. It's just simple things. So Ramaswamy is about to get in everybody's biscotti. Here we go.
And frankly, look, the people there cheering for losing in the Republican Party. Think about who's moderating this debate. This should be Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan, and Elon Musk. We'd have 10 times the viewership, asking questions that GOP primary voters actually care about and
that would have been smart. See, this is the way you got to think progressively. like if I was a strategist for the Republican Party, do you understand how far I would dig into the Democrats? I mean, like I was explaining the other day, we got all of these upset, disgruntled citizens up in Chicago. I would dedicate so much time to go up there and educate these people on what the real problem is. Why is it that all of these people are in your neighborhoods? Who put them there? Yeah, I would dedicate some time deprogramming a lot of the folks that just vote Democrat because they think everybody's racist. I would educate them, not necessarily deprogram them. I would just educate them and say, y'all remember when all of these same radical Marxist folks that's running your city was out there accusing Trump and Republicans of being, xenophobic and racist and stuff. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? Do you still think that way? Do you still think that wasn't smart when Trump said we can't have these people just coming across our border? We can't have them just violating them. Do you still think that way? No, we don't. So remember that next time. The next time they come out and try to tell you something that is common sense that you've learned from real experience, the next time they come out and try to brainwash you, gaslight you, and demonize a person that is trying to protect you, don't fall for it. In fact, look at all their policies. I would go ahead and drop all kind of commercials up there showing this is happening in every Democrat city. Look at this. They're all SO cities. Yes. Do you want all your cities to look like Democrat friendly? I would drop ads all over the place. I would drop all of the ads of these folks coming from the border and then occupying those cities and saying, this is what you get when you vote for Democrats. Simple stuff. And I'm saying y'all aren't taking advantage of the Democrats' fumbles. They're fumbling the ball all over the place, and we're just looking at it. Somebody said, what is Kevin's Twitter name? I think it's down there. It's now X, I guess. So am I Kevin X now? But anyway, let's continue because now he's about to turn his attention to the fake news. Oh, yeah.
Bringing more people into our party. Do you think the Democrats, and we've got Kristen Welker here, do you think the Democrats would actually hire Greg Gutfeld to host a Democratic debate?
Oh, common sense stuff. You know something is going on when you got a Republican debate, and yet they're bringing in liberal fake news moderators to quarterback this thing. Now, why would you do that? This is what I don't understand. Why would you do that? Because Democrats would never do that. We're not going on Fox News. No, we're not going to bring in Router from Crowder. We're not going to bring him in. We're not going to go and sit in Kevin's corner for an interview. We don't play like that. But yet, for some reason, the Republicans think we're going to get a fair shot. They go ahead and capitulate and jump on these fake networks. And I'm saying, you think they're there to really try to highlight and dig out all the issues that the voters care about? You think they're there to do that? Nope, just stir up some controversy. Just go ahead and say, all right, what do you feel about Donald Trump? If you get in, would you pardon all the J6 people? If you, all of that stuff. That's what they're there to do. And Ramaswamy is bringing this out. And when I heard him say that, I said, yeah, because I didn't watch the debates. And when I saw this clip, I looked down and I saw NBC. Well, wait a minute. Who do they have moderating this thing?
They wouldn't do it. And so the fact of the matter is, Kristen, I'm going to use this time because this is actually about you in the media and the corrupt media establishment.
Oh, my. Now, is this the same media that crooked Hillary yesterday on my show got her crooked, nasty toes right up there on The View? Talking about if Donald Trump gets in, he's going after the media, the fair and the honest press. And I'm going, oh, Ramaswamy must have heard you. Yep, because now he's about to give you a Popeye uppercut. The media's about to get that Popeye uppercut. Oh, man, I love this punch coming. He should have blew his fist up like in the cartoons. Bink. So here we go. Oh, man, let's get it.
Ask you, the Trump-Russia collusion hoax that you pushed on this network for years, was that real or was that Hillary Clinton made up disinformation?
Here's the egg.
Answer the question. Go.
Look. Here comes the egg on the face.
This is how.
Oh, there it is. Everybody go get your omelets. Everybody go get your eggs. I want a whole carton in both hands, firing them. I want a gauntlet of eggs on that face right there. All she can do is smile and take it. Yeah, you did. You got me on that. All right. Okay, I see how you playing, Rama. I see you. Because there's nothing else you can do with that. I bet you they're not used to being asked questions as the moderator. He's asking the questions to the moderator. Hey, talk to me about that. Yeah. Did y'all ever admit that y'all pushed the fake news? She said, they're like, yeah. And the sad part is whoever the cameraman is probably getting fired because he turned immediately to see her reaction. And that's it. That's all she can do is smile. I love it. I love it. Oh, but the SmackDown is not over yet. It gets worse because it's going to be like big time wrestling. You know, you'll be in there working on one person. Hulk Hogan will be in there with Andre the Giant. Hey, Andre, tonight, are you going to win against Hulk Hogan? Yes. So wait, are you going to win or not? No. Okay. And Hulk Hogan comes out, let me tell you something, Mean Gene. Tonight, brother, what are you going to do when the pipe bombs come around you? And they get in that ring. Hulk Hogan get caught. In a bear hug, and you think he's done. You lift a hand once, twice, the third time. Strength. Chop those ears, jump off, give him one of those, run across to the turnbuckles, come back that way. Then he jumps out the ring, go running up in the locker room to go to work on some other like Roddy Piper, the British Bulldogs. He's dropping all kind of double axe handles. Pandemonium is about to break out here. This man's gonna jump out the ring and go after everybody. And I love it. Let's continue.
Country back. We need accountability because this media rigged the 2016 election. They rigged the 2020 election with the Hunter Biden laptop story. And they're going to rig this.
Oh, well, you got to cut this one out. Mr. Ramaswamy, you're killing us here. You hear Homer Simpson? Homer Simpson head coming in? Yeah, he's the ref trying to break it up. Mr. Ramaswamy, we didn't expect you to start dropping all kind of double axe handles on us. So we got to cut you off. That's what we're going to have to do. As the crowd cheers, because I'm telling you, this right here was the best highlight of all of these raggedy debates that they've had, unnecessary Republican debates. But Ramaswamy said, you know what? This the last one. I might as well go out in a bang. Yeah, they've been attacking me the whole time. So now what I'm about to do is slap every single one of these rhinos in the face that's been ganging up on me, the last two, because they know that, hey, I'm coming with a fresh message and I'm really hitting some topics that a lot of people in society is going, yeah, good point. So now let's see, because they're going to stop him. But then he's like, no, I'm about to jump back in the ring. See, they thought that he went into the locker room, but he's going to come running out with a chair. That's how it happens when pandemonium breaks out in the WWF. You go and they're like, wow, that was a close one. Things got out of, oh my God, here he comes again with a chair.
Your
time is up.
Accountability.
Let me turn to Governor Christie. Why, Mr. Ramaswamy, any daylight between you and the candidates we just heard on this issue on what you would tell the Prime Minister?
Not in terms of what I would tell the Prime Minister, no. In fact, I would go one step further. The founding vision of Israel was based on the idea that they don't want to depend on anybody else's sympathy or direction in defending themselves. So what I would tell Bibi is that Israel has the right and the responsibility to defend itself. I would tell him to smoke those terrorists on his southern border.
Oh my, oh my. Now this is a great strategy. See, this right here allows us to support Israel, but not over support Israel. Right about now, we say, look, we've been giving y'all money all this time, and we're going to continue to give the same amount of money. That's what his position is. We're not going to jump in and start saying, let's stack the chips. Let's overstack the chips. What have we been giving you? Let's honor that commitment and make sure you understand we support your campaign. Yeah, do what y'all do. Go get them. And while y'all are going to get them, what are we doing here?
And then I'll tell him as President of the United States, I'll be smoking the terrorists on our southern
border. Oh, wow. Boy, look at those two. Look at them like, darn, I wish I'd have came up with that one. You see, Ron fake DeSantis at this point made me so mad. And this guy right here, so Bill Dukes over there, they're looking at him like, wow, that was pretty clever. I'm sorry, we're captivated. Yeah, what you were saying has captivated us. And instead of ganging up on you, we're marveling at what you're saying because it makes sense. So now he's saying, we got terrorists sneaking through our border. We got problems at home. We're going to continue to support you. We're going to continue to honor our commitment with the current situation and arrangement. But what we're not going to do is start sending money all over the place. Now, understand, guys. I love what he's doing to these people. I'm Trump all the way. But I also got to give credit where credit is due when the truth is spoken, because he's about to let all of these knuckleheads on this stage have it. Now, I like what he's, most of the time when I don't think I've ever heard him say anything crazy where I got to go, oh boy, I don't know about this guy. So he's been pretty dead on. So whatever happens with his future, who knows? But I will say this, for this night, it was his night to shine. So let's go ahead and let him continue to shine bright like a diamond.
That's his responsibility. This is our responsibility. That's how we move forward. But I want to be careful to avoid making the mistakes from the neocon establishment of the past.
Oh.
Corrupt politicians in both parties spent trillions, killed millions, made billions for themselves in places like Iraq and Afghanistan, fighting wars that sent thousands of our sons and daughters, people my age, to die in wars that did not advance anyone's interests.
True, because we ain't got nothing to show for it. It's like winning the lottery. 5 years later, you're broke. What you do with all the money? I don't know. I can't remember what I bought. That's what it's like. I'm sitting there saying, wait, do you understand how many folks died in foreign lands for nothing? Only to have it unraveled in one day when Joe Biden rolled up on the scene, woke up, hey, let's get out of Iraq. What, sir? Yeah, we're leaving. Let's bounce. Just like that. Just like that. So when he paints this picture, it makes you question a lot of the decisions. And then you got people on that stage, well, we need to give more money to Ukraine. We need to make sure that we protect their borders and protect democracy all over the world, and blah, blah, blah. And yet we got history to show maybe that isn't a good strategy. Maybe moms and dads don't want their kids' remains left out in the desert somewhere or in some jungle somewhere, only to have nothing to show for it. At least with the men and women who died during World War II and World War I, we got stuff to show for it. We were really fighting for some stuff then. Every war after that is questionable. Every war after that. And notice we didn't pick those two fights. That was all Hitler. That was Germany started that mess. We came in off the bench only when we had to. So now all of a sudden it looked like we just be ready. Ready to forward. If somebody's having a problem over there in another country, let's go get involved. Let's see what's going on. How about you mind your own business? So now what he's doing is he's pointing out that I have a different perspective about all of these wars and all of these war hawks right next to me. They all supported that whole crap. They all was like, Ukraine, and you don't know what you're talking about, you little snotty nose kid. And we know foreign policies, only now to find out that Ukraine is on the bubble. That little midget tattoo is running around. Yes, what do you need the more money? Please don't let Ukraine. They come under. I'm in trouble. If you stop giving money to Ukraine, Putin will kill me. He's scared now. And now all of a sudden, everybody's starting to say, let's cut it. It's enough. It's enough. But you couldn't say nothing about Ukraine and that war a couple months ago, in fact. Yeah, last time he was on stage, last two times, all of them. Ukraine, Ukraine, Ukraine. And we need to support our allies. And now it looks like all those Ukrainians died for nothing. All of us who were called Putin sympathizers. And I'm going to get into that, because we're about to have some Tucker time on the way out, because he's going to address it. So now he's bringing up stuff that we can say he's right on that. And us who acknowledge that, we were right too.
Adding $7 trillion to our national debt. And Joe Biden sold off our foreign policy. Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, got a $5 million bribe from Ukraine. That's why we're sending $200 billion back to that same country. The fact of the matter is the Republican Party is not that much better. You have the likes of Nikki Haley, who stepped down from her time at the UN. Bankrupt or in debt is...
Look at her! Looks like she's over there sucking on a lemon. It looks like her face is imploding right there. Like, man, okay, he got me in a pickle, because I know the Ukraine thing right now is crumbling, In the last two debates, I was up here touting how we need to go to work on you and we need to make sure we continue. You don't know anything about this. See, that's why you can't have a... She did all of that. Now he's able to go ahead and lighten to her, and he's about to call her out, and she ain't saying nothing. Now, the last elections, all of them right now would be chiming in. All of them would be like, you know what, hands raised. They're all sitting there looking like they're taking a lecture from their father or something. So look at that old nasty neocon face right there, like, he got me on this one.
Was her family. Then she becomes a military contractor.
Oh.
She joins the board of Boeing and otherwise, and is now a multi-millionaire. So I think that that's wrong when Republicans do it or Democrats do it.
Look at that. All she can do is blink. That's all she can do. That is suspicious. I mean, it's funny how that could be a motive. If you know your family's involved, you're getting money somehow through these wars. Could that be a motive? Could that be a reason why you always, we gotta send money, we gotta make sure that, could that be? He just called her out and all she could do is, she didn't even gasp. I'm buffering. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, let's see. All right, let's wait. Let's give it a second. I forgot to put the Wi-Fi on. All right, let me know. I'm working against the clock. All right, there we go. I think the Wi-Fi kicked back in. So now, as he just called her out and exposed her background and her connection, that she got rich somehow, all she could do is blink. She didn't even go, She ain't even, that ain't true. Nothing. She's sitting there taking a licking.
That's the choice we face. Do you want a leader from a different generation who's going to put this country first? Or do you want Dick Cheney in 3-inch heels?
All right, Mr.
In which case we've got
Ramaswamy.
two of them on stage tonight.
Oh, man. Oh, snap. That's the way to go out. Because that's the way, I like it, that's the way, I like it, Give it to him. Yeah, man, don't hold back. So all of them over there sitting there like, well, that's pretty much it for us, right? We're done? Okay, it was a nice try, it was a nice run. Yeah, smacked them all over the place. Bravo, Ramaswamy, bravo. My hat goes off to you. Yep, put those neocons in their place. Shame on DeSantis. I mean, I was listening to, I think it might have been Black Conservative Perspective. And, this is true. See, they don't understand that Trump has the heart of the people. And for some reason, you decide to run against him. Not only just run against him, but start attacking him with Democrat talking points, fake news talking points. You're using the talking points and the strategies of the people we despise. And you don't think that's going to backfire on your career? You don't think people are going to develop animosity towards you? You think they're going to embrace you? You look unloyal. You look like you just sold out. It's unreal that they would do that and then jump on board with, I knew Chris Spies was garbage. We knew his role. He's playing the role of the spoiler. Pence, sellout, and Ron DeSantis was one of the biggest disappointments to me. I'm like, dude, you should have just waited your turn. You should have just stayed the governor and mastered that. It wasn't time to overturn the apple cart down there in Florida. You had a good thing going. Make sure that Florida remains bright red. See, you got to make sure you dig your heels in there. It ain't time to get in there for 3.5 years and then jump out. Who knows who would have came in as governor if this man would have became president? And all of a sudden now, all of that work put in down there, all of the good policies could be unraveled overnight because you, for some reason, want to jump out early and try to run for president for some reason. So who got in this man's head to tell him that's a good idea? Not only did they tell him it was a good idea, but then he gets out there and he starts firing into Trump. And Trump said something early because he started letting him have it off grip. And people was like, well, why is Trump going hard on DeSantis out of nowhere? It seems like, I mean, Yeah, well, now we see. And the rest of them too. Nikki Haley worked in his administration. Unbelievable. So now, guys, as Ramaswamy was talking about all of this war and stuff overseas, right now we're in a mess. We're in a mess on so many fronts. We see what they're trying to do to Trump. They're trying to stop him, get him off the ballot, destroy his finances. And we see what's going on at our border. We just got problems everywhere. Right now, it looks like we got a million teeny fires just running around, and everybody is, let's put it. So this is a wonderful meme. The entire world right now. And yet this man right here from another country.
So if you were in charge,
kept it 100 real. Tucker time. So let's see. I think he's the president of, is it Turkey? Let me see.
Of NATO,
no,
if
not,
you were,
not
say,
Turkey.
Joe Biden,
Wait,
what would your next move be in the war in Ukraine? What would you do?
Wait. He's the president of, is it Turkey? I keep wanting to say Turkey, but it's not Turkey. Somebody remembers, tell me. So now, this guy right here is about to keep it 100% real. And I love it. Hungary. Thank you. There we go.
Peace. Immediately. Call back Trump. That's the only way out.
Call back Trump? What did he just say? You hear that? I thought Trump was disrespected on the world stage. That's what I thought. I thought that Trump didn't know nothing about no foreign policies. I thought Trump was going to take us into World War III. Somebody go get that spotlight. Yeah, bring back Trump. You hear him? Bring back Trump. What?
Call back Trump. Because, you can criticize him for many reasons. I understand all the discussion. But, the best foreign policy of the recent several decades belonged to him.
Oh.
He did not initiate any new war.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
He treated nicely the North Koreans and Russia, even the Chinese, He delivered a policy which was the best one for Middle East, Abraham Accords.
Yes.
So that was a very good foreign policy.
Very good foreign policy. Very good. Now, y'all hear this truth bomb being dropped? I bet you if the fake news and the Democrats could cut that feed, they would. But it's out of their control. I bet you they're like, man, we're sitting here trying to brainwash Americans that if you bring back Trump, the whole world would implode. And yet this man is going, And I'm a president of another country, and I'm going to tell y'all, Trump had it going on. See, these are the things that the Republicans need to be getting out there. That's why when Ramaswamy said these people who's running the GOP, they something's wrong. We got a problem. Because if this man from another country can see what Trump did, and other countries, I see all kind of people from other countries saying Trump was the best. He was the best. When Trump was in office, I had people from Africa calling into my show. I had people, leaving messages like, man, I wish we had a leader who looked out for us. I wish we had a Trump over here in Africa. We got corrupt politicians, we got dictators, we got us, and y'all got a president literally protecting y'all best interests. And y'all blowing it, champ. You're blowing it. We got folks over here, and we don't like that. We hate being safe, and we hate having jobs, and we hate low gas prices, and we hate safety, and we hate, and I'm going, boy. So now, they need to be blasting this on commercials. Bring back Trump. Make them realize that outside of your little bubble and all of the fake news you absorb and inhale, the rest of the world looks and goes, y'all didn't know what y'all had, man. You never know what you had until it's gone.
He's criticized that he's not educated enough to understand the word, but this is not the case. Facts count. And his foreign policy was the best one for the world.
Tell Joe Biden that. Because on my show the other day was a clip of Joe Biden talking about Trump. He was messing things up and he's screwing up and making people mad. And the rest of the world was looking at us like, and I'm going, now they're looking at us like prey. They're looking at us like, y'all want something to eat? Yeah, we got some creepy, some sleepy, some sleazy slimy, and some sloppy Joe. That's what we got. We serving up sloppy Joe. That's what they're doing right now. See, under Trump, you either loved us or hated us, but you best believe you respected us. You respected us. It was like, man, I hate them dudes, but hey, I gotta give him respect. Because that dude could either be my best friend or my worst enemy. See, creepy, pray. Here we go.
In the last several decades I have seen. And if he would have been the president at the moment of the Russian invasion started, no, it would be not possible to do that by the Russians. So Trump is the man who can save the Western world and probably the human beings in the globe as well.
Good grief. Now that right there is one like serious, praise. It's like, that's right there. Thank you. I'll be like, dude, I appreciate that. I'm gonna do my best. That's a humbling praise right there. He said, this man right there can save the whole West and might the whole world. Because honestly, the whole world is fragile right now. All it takes is one bad rocket to spiral off. One crazy person to do something stupid and up jump the boogie. Up jump the boogie. And we're not in a position to even step in and stabilize nothing. Joe can't talk. This is I never seen anything. I thought I'd never see anything like this in America. We got a president that even if he wanted to try to get up there and bring about peace and negotiate stuff, he can't do it. He doesn't even know where he's at half the time. And yet they're up here talking about Joe Biden is our best choice. But then Tucker brings somebody else on this show to talk about a couple other issues going on around the country. And boy, some truth bombs. It's been a long time since I had Tucker on my show. These truth bombs right here are rich. Check this out. Tucker time.
I think it's important to go back and remember what was said at the beginning, the propagandistic framework, not to take credit or assign blame, but to realize how often we're deceived by exactly the same emotionally manipulative tactics. We were told by the people who wanted the U.S. involved in this war, not just involved in it, but to fuel it, to prevent diplomatic negotiations from taking place with the possibility of ending the war very early on. We were told by those people that they were so concerned about Ukrainians and so concerned about Ukraine that the United States had to send tens of billions of dollars over there and all sorts of weaponry and flood the country with arms in order to protect Ukrainians. And anybody like the two of us and other people who stood up and said, this isn't a good idea, this is going to be counterproductive. We were accused of not caring about the Ukrainians and cheering for the Russians when none of that was true. All along, the point was that there was no way Ukraine could possibly win a war against Russia, a country way larger with a much better military, even if NATO is behind it. The only thing that is going to happen is that this war will be prolonged. Huge numbers of young Ukrainians and then older Ukrainians, not people who volunteered, but who are conscripts. Zelensky has been fighting with a conscript army since the beginning, are going to die. And at the end, there's going to be a negotiation that says that Russia will end up being able to protect the part of eastern Ukraine it believes had people in it who are largely Russian-speaking, ethnic Russians, who are being oppressed by Kiev. They will keep Crimea. There's no way for these maximalist war
So what you're saying, Glenn, is all of that bull crap they fed us, we're going to be left with nothing to show for it. Nikki Haley, Lindsey Graham, all of you Warhawks, all of you rhinos who just wanted a blanket open check to send over there, let that little weasel come over here and speak to our Congress, praising him. You know what, that was like Winston Churchill, that speech. What are you talking about? I could barely understand him. Yeah, that was just inspiring. Came out taking snapshots with him, all of that mess. And they told all of us, if we questioned the support that we should give to Ukraine, then we're unloyal. We're Putin puppets. We're stupid. We're undermining our democracy. They trashed us, basically calling us traitors, unpatriotic. And I'm thinking, no, we're smart. We understand the situation. That's a war that could have been avoided, as you just heard from the Hungary president. It wouldn't have happened if Trump was in office. They could have prevented this war, but they egged it on, and he's about to expose that too. See, but now we see it's all coming down to a close. We ain't gonna have nothing to show for it. In fact, Putin's gonna come out like, see, I come out on top. Mother Russia wins again. They got more territory now. A lot of Ukrainians dead. A lot of our equipment's gone. A lot of our money's gone. And they're still going to have to end up negotiating. The only way we had a shot at even possibly winning that war is we would have had to get involved in the war. You thought Ukraine was going to hold it down with a ragtag team? But yet, here we are. Now, they all going to have to eat crow. They'll come up with some excuse. They're never going to admit we were wrong.
Aims ever to be achieved. And now here we are 2 years later, in part because the West is just tired of funding this war. The counteroffensive that we were all told would change everything was a tremendous disaster. They barely have any people left to fight. They're now dragging 45 and 50-year-olds off buses and sending them to the front.
Oh, that's not good. And Zelensky over there, he's making sure he puts people in prison and he's suspending all of the elections and all of that stuff. He's a little dictator. That's what he is. And yet we're over there sending money, talking about we're protecting his borders. Cackling Kamala Harris going over there saying something. Don't even know what she said. So now it appears it's all coming to a crash, man. Okay, what else?
And the United States has a brand new war that it seems more excited over. And now they're finally telling the Ukrainians, and so is NATO, look, the gig is up. It's time for you to sit down at the negotiating table. And we're now in a position where NATO has to beg Russia to be happy to keep 20% of Ukraine, which is what they've controlled pretty much without any change for the last year or even year and a half.
Wait. A war we could have avoided if we would have kept our big fat noses out of it. If we would have just said, you know what? Let's not go and poke the bear. Huh? Yeah. If we would have did that, we could have avoided it. Now, we got to sit back and say, all right, Putin, listen, man, listen. We know it's over with. Okay? Now, we all want to get out of this with our integrity a little bit intact. How about you keep, and he's like, I didn't even want that. I wouldn't have had all of this if y'all would have, now I got more than I even wanted. Now, you got to sit back and beg me to pump the brakes. Come on, just leave a little bit of Ukraine left. None of this had to happen. So Putin comes out on top on this, and we're going to come out looking like fools.
Tens of billions of dollars were wasted, and thousands upon thousands of lives were extinguished.
And I would argue it's even worse than that, since the Biden administration and our European allies provoked this war on purpose. They've known for 20 years that the red line for Russia was NATO expansion onto its borders.
Red line. Oh, yeah. That red line. It would be my red line, too. Okay. We're not going to have Russia or China if we're smart. Now, right now, with the Biden administration, I'm a little concerned. You never know with them. They did let a balloon fly over our whole country for 8 days straight. Nonetheless, and then again, I keep thinking we got smart people running our country. Yeah, I already said we're not going to do something, and I'm going, wait a minute, I'm sorry, let me take that back. I don't know what these people are capable of doing. See, we done seen them do some crazy stuff. Because right now, Chi might call up Putin like, creepy, sleepy. I am going to put the Chinese military right down on the Mexican border. You won't say nothing to Chi, because you still have that $1.5 billion deal. See, we don't know. We don't know right now when it comes down to this administration. But I do know in normal times, there's no way in the world we would even tolerate Russia snooping around anywhere close, or China, or any of them. But for some reason, we all just, you know what? Now, we already know Russia said, not on our border, man. Y'all, this is too close to home. Y'all can't put these people in NATO. Leave them out of this, and we won't have to invade them. And what did they do? Man, you don't tell us what to do. We're going to go over there and talk to them about joining NATO. What did they think would happen? What did they think would happen? So they went over there arrogantly with their pride or whatever motivation they had. And now, look what happened. Which, that was the obvious conclusion. I'm like, of course he's going to invade. I mean, we can't put a military on this man. And listen to what he says about the people in Russia. This ain't just a Putin red line. Listen to this.
And they sent Vice President Kamala Harris to the Munich Security Conference 2 Februarys ago to tell Zelensky, we want you in NATO. knowing that this would provoke a war. I mean, I don't see any other way to read it.
Yeah, you see her go over there with that big old black mask. Every time I see that thing, I want to rip it off and shove it down her throat. Going over there looking like you know who. Yes, we are here to invite you into NATO. Yes, it's not for us, but it's for you, the people. She's looking like Bane. She's a vice president for nothing. Went over there talking about we're inviting you into NATO. Okay, so now what happened? Putin said, okay, I'll tell you what, I'm about to invade.
Yeah, I mean, this idea that if you talk openly about providing a security relationship with Kiev, or especially talk openly about allowing NATO to go right up to the most sensitive part of the Russian border by including Ukraine in the alliance, the idea that that would provoke an automatic war with Russia, between Russia and Ukraine, is something that Washington has known for decades. There's a famous memo in 2008 written by the current head of the CIA, Bill Burns, who wrote to Condoleezza Rice and other Bush administration officials who at the time were excited about expanding NATO eastward, about putting Ukraine in NATO. And he said, look, it's not just Putin. It's every single person in Moscow, even the people who hate Putin. All Russians are united around the idea that any attempt to put Ukraine into NATO is an existential threat to Russia, and they will have no choice but to invade Ukraine if we try. And
so they knew that. So it wasn't just Putin's idea. It wasn't just Putin being greedy and stingy, paranoid. See, that's like right now. As much as I despise Biden and this whole regime, I would not say, well, just because I hate Biden and their regime, I'm going to be okay with Russia putting their troops right down there in South America. I'm going to be okay with, China parking right up there on the... There's no way. I could despise the whole regime and still be like, no. We can't have that. Somebody do something about this. And that's the same thing with the people from Russia. Even if they didn't like Putin, they're like, well, we can't have y'all parking missiles right there on our border. So in a sense, that move that Putin did, even if they didn't like him, they're like, well, I support that decision. I support that decision. But yet our dumb leaders didn't weigh the cost.
They knew that, and they ignored those threats. And I absolutely think, Tucker, that, one of the things that is, I think, the greatest fraud of this war is that the people who kept claiming they were so concerned about Ukrainians were, in fact, totally indifferent to the Ukrainians. They were willing to sacrifice Ukrainians and Ukraine at the altar of getting back at Russia. I think...
Wow! Now, that right there slaps Republicans and some all the Democrats. But it definitely slapped some Republicans in the face that supported that mess too. But that's an MO of the Democrat Party across the board. They always jump out there using the excuse of, we're fighting for justice and democracy. We're fighting for these people to have a better life. They don't care nothing about the illegal immigrants that's coming. They don't care if they sleep out in the cold. Keep them coming. Pack them in. Yeah. They don't care nothing about the crime in their cities. They don't care nothing about any of that crap. Everything is a means to an end with that party. Yeah, and then you look over there in Ukraine, all I was hearing is, we got to defend democracy. If we let Putin do this, democracy crashes. He's going to go ahead and continue going through the whole Europe continent if we don't stop him in Ukraine. And I'm going, you really think that his goal is to take over the world and not simply to just secure his own country and make sure y'all don't stack a military right there on his border? So you think he's going to keep going? Ain't shown any signs of this. And all of a sudden now you want us to believe Putin was going to try to take over Germany, England, France, Italy. He was going to pull a Hitler? And if you question that, you were demonized and attacked. Man, and that also was a strategy from the deep state. Listen to this.
Large part because they wanted to extract vengeance against Russia for what they perceived to be Russia's role in helping Donald Trump win the 2016 election and causing Hillary Clinton to lose. And they were willing to sacrifice an entire country and to wipe out tens of thousands of lives of young people who didn't want to fight in order to fulfill their political goal of extracting vengeance against Russia, weakening Russia. They've been saying for the last several months, as American support for this war is eroding, oh, look at how great this war is. We don't have to lose any of our life. We're just having Ukrainians die, and we're just spending a bunch of money. But no, Americans are dying, only Ukrainians, for this goal of weakening Russia. They were the ones who didn't care about the Ukrainians. They saw Ukrainians as pawns that they were willing to sacrifice.
Stop it, Glenn. Stop reading them like that. Yeah, because if they're watching this, it's hurting their feelings. I'm sure they're, wow, he's straight exposing our motive. Yeah, we did use Ukrainians. Yeah. So you use our tax dollars, you use propaganda to either get Americans on board with it or to silence and shame Americans who weren't. You use all of that knowing that this was an unwinnable war. Knowing that, hey, my kid's not going over there to fight. I'm just sending off all the money. And now what do we have? A whole bunch of dead Ukrainians. And the results are still going to be the same. Putin is still going to have that land that he wanted. And that's it. The money's gone. All the equipment, we don't even know where the money is spent. We don't know what happened to it. You know, we got Zelensky right now talking about some, give me a loan that I would have repaid it back. I'm going, what did you do with the money we gave you? Where is it? I need to know. Talking about the give me more money so you can blow it? You want us to continue putting money into this, and y'all lied to us the whole way. We're winning. They're making progress. You know what? They're taking it to the Russians. And if you said, no, I think that's not true. You know what? You're a traitor to your country.
Sacrifice, and that's exactly what they did. It's really obscene. It would be bad enough if the United States were just going around spending all of Americans' money to fuel foreign wars. But what they're doing at the same time with these foreign wars are using them as a pretext to erode the core constitutional and civic rights of American citizens here at home. So when they wanted to launch the so-called war on terror, they ushered in the Patriot Act that gave...
Glenn! You're hot! Now he's starting to bridge some things together. See, all of these pretexts to do other stuff. See, it's always let's create a problem and then go ahead and say, now, how can we use this problem to our advantage? Same thing, COVID. All of a sudden now, mass mandates and vaccines. Got to get those. Just a test run. See, you know, how far can we push it? Same thing. Oh, what, the J6? Oh, now we got to go ahead and create this whole list of terroristic characteristics. Oh, but they only all pertain to mostly conservatives, though. I mean, and none of the lists we put together, highlights. If you have purple hair, you might be a radical on the left. If you wear open-toe sandals, the camel toes, you might be. If you drive a Prius as a grown man, you might be a radical leftist. No, it's always if you wear a man shirt over here, if you got an AR-15, if you got a shirt that says, come and take it. All of the things that the FBI was putting together all seem to pertain to conservatives. Isn't that ironic? They use these as pretexts. So now all of a sudden you get a war and they say, well, now we got to do what?
Vast powers to the FBI and the CIA of all kinds of detention and surveillance powers. They empowered the NSA to spy on Americans without the warrants required by the Constitution. Newt Gingrich wanted to rewrite the First Amendment in order to usher in censorship measures in the name of the war on terror. They did the same thing with the war in Ukraine. Some of the greatest censorship on big tech came from those people who were questioning NATO narratives, who were standing up and saying, I don't think these things are true.
Yeah. Now look at that. They did it with COVID. They did it with that laptop. All of a sudden now, you have something that takes place. And they said this just happened organically, even though we lied about how it started, where it came from. If you got out there and said, no, it came from the Wuhan lab. Oh, you know what? Let's get them off the internet. Let's censor them. If you got out there and said, now what happened to natural immunity? Let's censor them. You're spreading disinformation. You're violating YouTube's, policies. Yeah, get them on Facebook. Let's get some FBI guys sprinkled all up in there. I don't like that. Get that out of there. Oh, what did he say? Something about Hillary Clinton? Get that. Throw him in jail. Let me see who else. Oh, he's talking about Biden. They mentioned in the laptop. Oh, you know what? That could be Russian disinformation. So you might want to go ahead and censor that. Something in your eye. No. I'm just telling you, all of that. And then when this came out, they were like, if you don't agree with this and you get on the internet's like, this is crazy. They're losing over there. Get them off the internet. They use all of this propaganda. They censor, they suppress, they do all of that so that they can keep the opinions of Americans in their favor. They don't want no opposition. See, that's why you got to tear it all down. Not in the radical leftist way. You got to do it the right way. And that's why they fear Trump coming in. We're almost done. Here we go.
I don't think these things are wise. The EU made it illegal to even give RT a platform. So every single one of these wars results in fewer and fewer rights for Americans here at home.
So I have to ask about...
Isn't that odd? How does a war break out over there and we get censored for disagreeing with it? See, these are things that my man Glenn is dropping. He's bringing out these points, and I'm like, that's true, Glenn, that's true. And then he's going to close with this wonderful wrap-up right here, exposing all of this nasty corruption. Here we go.
About President Biden, these polls come out over the weekend showing that he's losing in a theoretical matchup among registered voters in 5 out of 6 swing.
And the media couldn't understand it, y'all. They were perturbed. They were flabbergasted, taken back. How could this happen? This seems to be a serious problem for the current president. We've put in all of the work to try to help him. We drug him across the finish line, half dead, and none of it seems to work. We've even demonized his political opponent and justified some serious overreach when it comes down to a corrupt DOJ and FBI. We've supported their narratives. We did all we can. And for some reason, popular opinion is still in Trump's favor. Now, why could that be, Glenn? You have to explain. Because you can't tell me a man with all these indictments, with all these charges and stuff is still popular. Is it because we're stupid and we're in a cult, Glenn?
States, the biggest swing states. It looks like if the election were held today, if not much changes, he would lose.
Oh.
And immediately you have David Axelrod, Bill Kristol,
trying to talk Biden out of it. Get out of here,
Biden voters saying we need a new guy. What do you make of that polling? Do you think it reflects reality? And what do you think will happen to Biden?
Tell us.
I think the most amazing part about this, Tucker, is that if any leading American politician had even gotten near the possibility of an indictment 10 years ago, the prospect of them running for high office would be instantly over.
That is true, Glenn. So what is it about Trump in this situation? Because in normal times, usually you would be able to identify a legitimate reason that a politician might come under some type of scrutiny, some type of charges, indictments and stuff, crimes that we can actually relate to. What? He killed somebody. Oh, yeah, he's going to go to... What? That man got caught stealing? Yeah, that's pretty bad. What? That man beat his wife? Oh, that man is accused of rape. But now we got all these ambiguous crimes that there's a statute in 1900, the bylaws of 1932 says that and I'm going, these aren't crimes that seem like these seem like made up ones. These seem like y'all backdating crimes. Seem like y'all going back to like, we got to find a way to stop this dude. Let's see what happened. In the 18th century, there was something that happened. That's what this looks like. This ain't your normal, yeah, I can see a clear-cut reason why they're going after this man. That's the problem. See, and what's happening because of it, Glenn?
And here you have Donald Trump, who has been indicted on felony charges in 4 different American jurisdictions, 2 state jurisdictions, 2 federal jurisdictions. And not only has it not harmed him, it actually has helped him in the polls for sure among Republican voters. His lead has expanded every time he's indicted, but also among American independents and even groups that traditionally support Democrats almost reflexively, like black voters who 22% of in this latest poll, we've seen similar polls say they would vote for Trump over Biden, and 42% of Latinos. And what this shows is that
42% of Latinos. Oh, ain't no sunshine when Trump's gone. Ooh, it's not the U.S. when he's away. Ooh, ain't no sunshine when Trump's gone. In the U.S. ain't no home anytime Trump goes away. Ooh, And I know, 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 I know. You need to leave those dams alone, 'cause ain't no sunshine when Trump's gone. Thank you. I'll be playing here all week. Now, let's close out. We got 3 minutes left. Here we go.
That Americans have really come to the conclusion that our leading institutions of authority are radically corrupted. Our media outlets are radically corrupted. The Department of Justice and the legal system has been aggressively politicized.
You mean that's why this brainwashing is not taking place? Because we're starting to see the man behind the curtains. We're starting to see that the Wizard of Oz is just the man behind there fooling us. That's what we're seeing. See, they're going, oh crap, they done ripped our clothes off. We're exposed. They hate Trump and they see him as such a danger that they have unleashed all of this corruption in plain sight. And it's not working because now it's clear. We're going, man, we didn't realize how corrupt our system was. We didn't realize how deep the deep state went. We didn't know how much swamp creatures lived up in Washington. This is what they swamped out. Whole DC is just swamped out. Instead of pimped out, they done swamped out all of DC. So now we see it. The jig is up. We're going, oh man, yeah, y'all couldn't hide it no more. And so now everything you say is like the little boy that cried wolf. Trump's going to take over the world. Okay. Trump's a white nationalist. Here we go again. Trump's a xenophobe. Oh, xenophobe. Trump's Hitler. Oh, Hitler. That's a new one. Yeah, Trump's that's why it's not working.
And so now Donald Trump is in a position where he's facing serious felony charges. I don't think they're serious in the sense that they're real, but they're serious in the sense that if he's convicted, he'll go to jail. And they're felony charges, and yet his lead is expanding over Joe Biden, in part because people, I think, see the injustice of it, but also everybody can just look at Joe Biden and see that he is not a person capable of even managing his own life.
Oh, Glenn. Gut punch to Joe Biden. Now, look at that. Somebody, you know what? Last night was so strange. Conservative from the hood. Somebody said, hey, Kev, 2,400 was watching last night. So many people saw that number. And, you know, at the same time, like some people saw the number I was seeing, you know, and I know what's going on, man. I know what's going on. YouTube think I'm stupid. Yeah, I know. I mean, there's no, like, there was times where I would have 6, 7. At one time, I think I had like 2,000 people watching, which for a channel my size was good. And then all of a sudden, you know, we stay right at around 270, right around 300. And I'm going, are you kidding me? I know something's going on. And I think last night they got messed up, and some numbers were reflecting something that might have been more accurate. And then all of a sudden, some people were seeing the number that I'm seeing. So I hear a lot of people say, man, last night, it was like 2,400 people watching. And I'm going, man, I wish I could have saw that. I wish that was, you know, but YouTube would never, right at this point, they're not going to do it. It burns me up. And no, I don't even know how many real subscribers I have. I really don't. You know, people subscribe and be unsubscribed. I'll subscribe people, go in my back office and wait and try to find them. Can't find them. They never show up. All kind of shenanigans going on with them. And yet Glenn Greenwald is calling it out. See, I'm also in this group of people who are suffering from all of this crap.
Much less the country.
Yes.
And that there's no cure for that. That's not going to get better. That's only going to get worse. And what their strategy now is to basically say to Americans, and I've seen many articles about this, many things on television.
What?
The problem is that American voters are ignorant. They're ill-informed.
Oh.
They're low information voters, and that's why they're deciding this way, because the Democratic Party, I think, is stuck with Joe Biden.
Oh, yes. We've been seeing that. Haven't y'all noticed that? Every time one of them come on and try to gaslight us, and they ask them, why do you think the current administration's ratings are so low and approval rate? Oh, it's because we are messaging and people just don't know all the good things we're doing. And you get people like Hillary Clinton come out and say we're cultic and we're brainwashed. And Joy Joy Big Nose Behart had the nerve to come out and say, there's people that are low IQ voters and they just don't understand. And I'm saying, really? That's what you think? All of the stuff that Glenn, Greenwald is this highlighting right there. We see that. For whatever reason, Joy Behart and others who are either suffering from Trump derangement syndrome or just corrupt enough to try to gaslight us out of reality. And I'm saying, you could tell us till the cows come home. Things are great. Bidenomics is working. And I'm saying, I'm seeing things differently in real life. Okay. So, yeah, that's why his numbers are increasing on Trump's side, even though he got all these indictments.
He's not going to go anywhere. And he's the kind of politician who has never sacrificed his own personal self-interest for any kind of greater cause. There's no reason to expect that he would do so now.
Nope. And that's why the media is starting to try to send a message to Creepy by talking about this constantly. Do you think he's too old? Do you think, who would they replace? There's a lot of talk about, but they're trying to send a message to Joe. You're not fresh. You don't have the juice, man. You don't have it. You don't have the juice. Go somewhere and sit down. Step aside. I even heard that Wookiee up there in Pennsylvania, fatter woman, that guy was even talking about Gavin Newsom. You're a coward. You should run against Joe. That's who they really want to do. They want to slide that man in. That's what they want because they know Joe is washed up. So now, finish this off, Greenwald.
They're tied at the hip to him, and they see these polls and are in extreme panic mode. It's not just a Biden collapse. It's in key swing states, all of which he won in 2020, where Trump now has a significant lead despite four indictments. So all their efforts to try and destroy Trump have failed, at least until now.
And he's like the hawk, y'all. The more you're attacking, that stronger he gets. Now, isn't that great? You would think they would learn. See, that's what DeSantis and them didn't understand. Republicans who attack Trump, I'm like, what are you thinking? You're making him stronger. You're making him a martyr. If I was a DNC strategist, I would be like, stop attacking this dude. Hey, how about y'all not talk about this dude on CNN and MSNBC all the time? It becomes obvious when every second of the day you turn on one of those networks and you can best believe Trump once again is in trouble. Trump's every second of the day. You don't think it becomes obvious that y'all got a motive? They don't talk about nothing else. Right now, I'm telling you, if I go and I could throw a dart, just, you know what time is it? I bet you as soon as I turn it, I'm here. And Trump. So what happens is people start to go, well, wait a minute now, come on. This is a lot of Trumpism. This is a lot of, I hate Trump. Trump did this, Trump did that. I think you guys are up to something. And that's why it doesn't work. After a while, we become immune to it. It's like, well, okay, here we go. Once again, Trump.
And I don't think the Democratic Party is going to abandon Joe Biden. If he wants to run, he's going to be their nominee. Of course, the media is, completely petrified at the idea that Trump would win, even though part of them knows it will help their careers like it did the first time around. But they really are scared of Trump. They really view Trump as this ultimate menace.
Yeah, because he's going to take over the world and shut down the media. And according to Big Nose, what was her, Rachel Maddow, he's going to triumph for treason. That was the best right there. He's going to try us for treason. And I'm sitting there like, what? What did she just say on the, did she say he was going to try for, okay. That one's far stretch. Yeah, that's up there with the Hitler narratives. Here we go.
And I think those horrified tones are about the fact, two things. One, there's obviously a good chance Trump will win, and they can't understand that. And I think that's the other thing is, all they've been saying for 6 years is that.
Tell them. Now, this is the dismount. Glenn, what have they been doing? Because remember, Glenn, 22% of African Americans at this point supports Trump. Highest ever for Republican, I think since Lincoln. Then also, you got the Latinos. You got folks that should not be supporting this man. Because we've been getting a heavy dose of racism, sexism, xenophobia, homophobia, tyranny, all of this stuff Trump is about, man. We've been getting an overdose of that. They've been working on the minds of Americans for 6+ years. So what is it then that is making all of these people decide, you know what? I'll go ahead and support the racists. I'll go ahead and support the white nationalists. What is making them do that?
That Trump is a white nationalist, that Trump is a racist, that Trump hates all minorities. And here you have increasing numbers of non-white voters doing the exact opposite of what you would expect them to do if they trusted or believed what those people have been saying. Namely, they're voting for Donald Trump, the racist white nationalist candidate who wants to put them all into camps.
Isn't that crazy?
And so if you're an employee of these media outlets and you look at these polling numbers, you realize that these people have tuned you out. They don't care what you say anymore. They don't trust what you say anymore. They have completely lost any control or influence over how Americans reason, because most Americans are smart enough to have come to the conclusion that those people that you just showed in the media outlets for which they work are absolute liars. Just propagandists and people who exist to deceive. And that is the good news, that these institutions where people have lost faith in deserve to have lost their faith and trust. They deserve the contempt and hatred they provoked. And it's good that Americans are recognizing that. And it's good that those people there, even though they'll never question whether they are to blame.
No, that's not the media style. See, that's not the media. That's why when Ramaswamy asked that lady, hey, where did you back that Russia collusion crap? Yeah, what about that? All she could do is smile. You think she was going to come out and say, yeah, you're right, we are propaganda. That's right, we're responsible for the division that took place in the country. Yeah, we push every fake narrative that you could come up with. That's right, we're paid and bought by either the DNC or the deep state, one or the other. Pick one. They're never going to come out and say that. That's right, we drove all of you Americans that's walking away from Biden and walking away from the Democrat Party, we drove them into the arms of Trump by overdosing them with propaganda, trying to gaslight them against what they actually feeling and saying, no, all of this is good for you. Paying high prices in gas and food and housing and cars, it's good for you. It's Bidenomics. Being in endless wars, it's good for you. Sending money overseas, having illegal immigrants coming to your neighborhoods, it's all good for you. This is working. We're doing stuff. Letting us get our knuckles on your kids so we can go ahead and, have them go through transition when they, it's good for you. These are the things that all of these fake news people pushed. And by pushing this mess, they pushed a lot of people away from Biden and these raggedy behind Democrats. And I hope they paid the worst price possible in 2024.
Are also starting to see that nothing they say really matters and makes a difference any longer.
Thank you, Glenn. Yeah, man. And I'll stand by that. Trump derangement syndrome. Boy, it's real. So there you have it, y'all. That is the conclusion. And Glenn Greenwald put a nice cherry on top. That's the facts, Jack. So let's get ready to get out of here. Because I'm sure we're going to have more drama tomorrow. You know what's crazy is that looks clear on my end, but yet it looks blurry when I'm looking at it through the... That's odd. Maybe I need my focus on. My eyes ain't what they used to be. Anyway, so thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I made it under an hour and a half. Woohoo! And I'll be back. I should... You know what? I think I'm going to be back tomorrow, y'all. Because even though my boy's son is playing in the playoff game, it's far away. And I'm like, I don't think I'm going to make the trip. So I'm going to come on and drop another one tomorrow. Don't forget, too, guys, to check my channel. Because I uploaded some shorts. And I got like 3 or 4 more to upload from a couple shows back. And I uploaded them. And like always, 600 views. 900 views, stuff like that. 900 views. There you go. They want me to believe that. They want me to be like, yeah, that's rational for a man who has 186,000 subscribers. 11-minute video, 900 views. That's about average, right? That's about average. So if you haven't seen those shorts, which if you watch my channel, you probably saw it live, but now I've chopped them up into shorts. You can always go and check them out. Just watch them. If you ain't got nothing else to do, put together a Kevin's Corner playlist. If you're a person that sleeps to noise in the background, put together a playlist and just play my videos. Dang on it. Give me the views. Give me as many views as you can give me, because they're not going to give it. And they probably won't even register your view. That's the sad part about it. But help out any way that you can. You can also help out by texting MAGA to 330-974-4607. And then also, if you want to support by, donating to my channel through my little project, you can do that. The link is below. All those who gave in the super chat tonight, thank you so much. We got about 3 or 4 more days of my little monthly project here. I'm trying to raise some money because they screwing with everything, as you can see. So let's just keep punching them in the face by supporting conservatives, not just me, conservative YouTubers, conservative, whatever. I think we got to stick together. We're at that point where, we got to stick together. I hate to say it, we got to stick together, man, because their strategy is to divide and conquer. That's what it is. So, yeah. Now, let's get out of here. Don't forget, like, share, follow me on the other platforms, especially my other channel. I'm going to check tonight to see if y'all subscribed. I need 1,000 subscribers, y'all. And also, Rumble. There you go. All right, now, let's get ready to get out of here. Let's bounce, man. Bounce, baby, bounce, baby, bounce, 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 baby. When I come. Star City. I know you see the goons. I know you see the apes. I know you see the weapon tear up the place. Yeah. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Take care.